Yep.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. Constable Tanya Vizantine, Media Relations Officer for Vancouver Police. Tanya's T-A-N-I-A and Vizantine is V-I-S-I-N-T-I-N. Vancouver Police are investigating after a deceased newborn baby was found inside a public restroom last night. Just before 6 p.m., our officers were called to the area of Main Street and Hastings Street for reports of a baby found inside a portable restroom. It was very obvious to the officers that the baby was deceased. This is an extremely tragic and troubling incident. We are very concerned for the mental and physical well-being of the mother. We desperately want to speak with her and get her medically assessed. My heart goes out to her and the Downtown Eastside community during this very tragic time. BC's Coroner's Service is engaged and they will be conducting their own parallel investigation. We are urging anyone who has information to call our major crime section at 604-717-2500, or they can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 1-800-222-8477. Are there any questions?
When you say newborn baby, do you believe that the woman gave birth in the portable toilet?
That is something our investigators are still investigating at this time, so I don't have that information.
Is the baby itself a newborn as in just born? Or a newborn? People use that phrase colloquially. So does it mean, how old is this baby?
We don't have the exact age. All I do know that it was a newborn baby, and as for days, weeks, hours, I don't have that information.
Was the mother forced out of the porta potty? Was the door ripped off to get her out?
Again, I don't have that information at this time. Yeah, that's something our investigators are investigating. We're piecing all the pieces together. We're calling on witnesses, and especially the mother, to please call us.
Boy or girl, maybe?
We don't have that information right now.
We heard from people in the area that they had been checking on her, like someone had seen her go in. Do you know if that's true? Like, have people said anything like that to police?
We are urging any witnesses who were in the area to please call our investigators, or they can call Crime Stoppers anonymously. And anyone with information to call us, and we really need to speak with them.
What time did this all take place, do you know?
Just before 6 p.m., that's when our officers arrived.
How were you guys alerted to the situation there?
We did have multiple callers, people in the area, as well as security for the Carnegie, as I believe the porta potties were just outside in the area of Main and Hastings.
And what do you know what they were reporting at that time? Were they reporting like sounds, or what was the unusual activity?
Reports of a deceased baby in the porta potty.
And who found the baby, do you know?
I don't have that exact information.
Is the porta potty where it happened still there, or was that taken like for evidence?
I believe it will be used as evidence. That information, again, I don't have specifics. I am limited as to what I can say, as this is an active and ongoing investigation. And we're also very concerned about the mother. I want to add that, and we really want to speak to her. So anyone with information is asked to call us.
Obviously, this is a tragic situation. What's your message to that mother today?
I can't, none of us can imagine what she is going through and where she's at. And we are very concerned for her physical well-being and her mental well-being. This isn't something that's easy to deal with. So we need her to call us. We want to help her. We want to get her to the hospital and to get checked out. I just want to add that we are seeing issues with porta potties on the Downtown Eastside. Just on Saturday, we did have an overdose inside one of the porta potties. And then in the last few weeks, we have had about half a dozen porta potties set on fire. So we just want to advise the public, especially those in the Downtown Eastside community, to not to go in the porta potties alone, and to specifically don't use alone in the porta potties. We are just very concerned as they go unattended. If you go in there alone, we just request that you go in there with a person.
What do you think that has to do with the general street disorder that you're seeing there now?
I can't say that there's parallels. This is just something that we have noticed that has been going on, and we are concerned, as always, for the well-being and safety of the residents of the Downtown Eastside. So we are urging no one to go in there alone and no one to go inside and use alone, especially.
The incident on Saturday, that was at Oppenheimer Park or around there?
I don't have exact details for that, but we can speak later. I can look into it further for you if you need it.
Was that overdose a fatal overdose, or?
Again, I'll have to look into it. I'm not too sure. It was fatal.
It was
Yes,
fatal.
it was
right.
fatal.
Okay.
Are you guys in touch with the city as far as advising them on any changes that they should have to that sort of porta potty system that they have set up for the moment?
We are in connection with our partners and our partners of the city, and we have ongoing communication and dialogue between the city and us regarding these incidences. If there's no more questions, I'll just provide an update on the assault on the elderly man from yesterday. Our investigators have received numerous tips from the community on the racially motivated assault on the elderly Asian man. We have made significant leads and have identified a suspect. The Vancouver Police would like to thank the community for their overwhelming support on such a serious and intolerable incident. And when we do have a suspect charged, we will, of course, update you as soon as we can.
So there's pretty quick movement there. Why not release all that earlier?
So immediate release is just one aspect of an investigation. There are many pieces to the puzzle, including interviewing witnesses and suspects, and a public plea is just one aspect. And we are so grateful for the help that the community has given us, and yeah, we are just overwhelmed with the support. It's
What
great.
kind of steps do you have to go through to get a public release like that? Like, what kind of boxes do you have to tick as an investigator?
I don't want to get into details on how we investigate. I also don't want, it's not something I can speak to. Just a public release is something, a public release is one tool that we use as we have many tools that investigators have. So again, thank you to the public for that. Okay, now I'll have Aaron come up here and he'll just talk about an incident at 41st and Fraser from yesterday.
Hello, thank you for having me. Sergeant Aaron Road, Media Relations Officer for the Vancouver Police. Road is R-O-E-D. Vancouver Police executed a high-risk search warrant under firearms offenses on Wednesday evening at a home in South Vancouver in the Sunset neighborhood, and we did arrest 4 individuals. We had a very visible presence in that neighborhood yesterday evening in relation to the warrant, and we want to thank the public for their patience as police worked and gathered evidence throughout the evening. The warrant was executed by the Vancouver Police Department's emergency response team, as well as our major crime unit. This warrant was executed in the area of East 41st Avenue and St. George Street. We did use multiple police resources, including our armored response vehicle. 3 of the individuals have been arrested and released. 1 individual was arrested and does remain in custody on an unrelated warrant. The VPD's investigation is ongoing, and VPD officers believe there is no public safety threat at this time. Is there any questions?
What kind of firearms are you talking about?
This investigation is ongoing right now, and we have limited resources that we can give out at this time. We haven't presented charges to Crown yet, and it isn't for their review, so it would be that information is unavailable at this time.
How many shots would you say were fired?
Shots were fired? There was no shots fired. This is just an execution of a warrant. We did use it.
They didn't fire back.
They did not, no.
And let's see here. That's
Is there any other questions regarding anything else going on in the city you'd like to know?
anything else?
Yes, there is quite a
Anything
bit.
else?
There's an opening.
There's a slight opening there.
Sure, let's talk about it. And I had asked this to Tanya, and maybe she needs to come back out, but.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, sorry, just about the gentleman, the suspect.
Yes.
From the assault. So you can't release his name at this point until he's charged, or you
No,
go
he
in
hasn't
to
been
find
charged.
him?
We just have somebody identified. Yeah.
Was he still in the province? Or is he still in the province?
Yes, he's still here.
He's still here.
Yes.
Still here. Do you know if we will see anything coming?
If the second that we have that information readily available for the public, we will 100% give you that update.
Is
Yeah.
he known to police?
He is known, he has dealings with the police in the past, yeah. Any more information about him, I cannot release, unfortunately, yeah. Thank you. Okay, thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you.